What is this? Ken, as in Deathblow Ken, and Jin, as in the Trick Prince Jin Kiritani, feuding. Hostilities finally exploded between them. The industry is in an uproar as Jin Dynasty devolves into dissent. So it looks like we have another singles match. That is the part of the fallout from Jin Dynasty losing the 6-tag championship. It would seem that Ken's got beef with their leader. Perhaps he blames the Trick Prince for the group losing the titles. Yeah, maybe he's calling into question Jin Kiritani's leadership. And so, perhaps he says to him, look, we lost the titles under your leadership. So if you're going to continue lording it over me, like you're some sort of damn emperor like you claim to be, maybe it's time you prove you can actually beat me. Maybe you need to demonstrate you're better before you go on calling yourself the leader of this group. So yeah. So revolt, in a sense. The Trick Prince not only loses the title, the 6-tag title that he holds so dear, but now he's got to defend his leadership. So, okay, well, to see what becomes of that. March of year 3. This match is first on account of we'll receive the feud reminder when the event begins. So might as well go to this match first off. As Deathblow Ken disputes the Trick Prince's right to lead the Team Japan 6-tag championship aspiration. Perhaps in Deathblow's mind, the team should no longer be named Jin Dynasty. Will there even be a team when the smoke clears? These two prideful men will settle the matter one-on-one in match 1. Match 2. Kenny Omega faces a god, the Black Dragon God, as BDG seeks revenge after the aftermath, or over the aftermath, to the finish of the previous event, 6-tag championship. So Black Dragon God has beef with Kenny for adding injury to insult. See how I reversed it there? With ground elbows after the fact of Team Canada Blue dethroning Jin Dynasty for Canada's 6-tag championship. So just as well that these two heated singles matches should come up now, because Big Mike is out, so there would be no 6-tag championship match this event anyway. And a not so minor footnote: with the 6-tag championship win, Big Mike is now the second Triple Crown champion of heavyweight Canadian wrestling. He was the original singles champion. He became tag team champion in Team Big at the second Canada Day Spectacular. He's now a member of the three-man team who are six tag champions. So congratulations. Now we'll get on to some title matches. The DFW Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Team Satan will defend against the two Canadian members of the Sharpshooter Syndicate, Bret the Hitman Hart and the Canadian Sensation. This duo, recently defeated by Team Terrible for Canada's Tag Team Championship. Now they're dropping down in prestige to try for the minor tag title. Followed by DFW's Heavyweight Championship. Matt Gibson versus Ted Axel. The Ace, again, had a 2.9 count against the $50,000 champion. So close! Plus, the 100% match evaluation. So, fans probably need to see this one more time. And besides, there is a precedent / tradition in this promotion to grant third time's the charm rights to challengers. It goes all the way back to the opening months of the promotion. But the flip side being, 3 strikes, you're out. Oh, and as I mentioned, I was going to check on Ted Axel's $50,000 popularity there. You see right of the profile, the first letter is A. Ted Axel has A popularity. Compare that to Matt Gibson's S, or super, which I think it might mean. I don't know if that's what it means, but we're calling it that. So Matt Gibson, S popularity. Ted Axel, A. So perhaps people love the Ace more than they hate the Wise Man. Might be some way to look at that popularity. Fan resentment of Ted Axel going back to his insane signing bonus and him flaunting his apparent worth and being an arrogant jerk about it. Match 5. Christian versus Shota for Canada's Junior Championship. So Christian seems capable of overcoming Mexico Miguel. Christian's 2-0 against Miguel. But can he defeat the irredeemable Shota, against whom Christian is only 0-2? So he'll try his luck, this time wearing his alt blue as he did in January. Match 6. Canada's Tag Team Championship. You know them. You fear them. I almost said you know them, you love them, but you can have your own opinion on what you think of them. But they're definitely to be respected. Team Terrible. Defend against the Missing Link and the Baron Charles. So apologies to fans of Team Green after they won the previous main event. If this seems like punishment rather than reward for their success to get fed to the bear. But the DFW tag is already spoken for, so by the process of elimination. And besides, if Team Green could actually dethrone Team Terrible, it would be a monumental achievement and the first tag title for both green guys. And that main event success appears to agree with the Missing Link. For his trust has climbed to B. Lower right there, he's got a B trust. So he's happier to be here. He has climbed to B and he's happier to be here. I think that's right. And maybe the Link should not be the team leader here. The Baron is more accomplished. But since the Missing Link is 80 years old, in his 80s, he could retire anytime. So there's limited chances to get his name in the title history. So hopefully the Baron doesn't mind honoring the seniority of his elder. Match 7. Strongheart will challenge Big Titan again for Canada's Heavyweight Championship. Regarding resolution, you recall Big Titan's New Year's resolution to establish a new record for Canada Heavyweight Championship title defenses, or leave the Canada Wrestling promotion should he fail. So he accomplished 1 of 3 in January, defeating Strongheart, who took the champ to a 2.9 count. That close to winning the title. So Big Titan attempts phase 2 of his resolution, his high stakes resolution, as Strongheart gets a deserved rematch. So we have another match 8. We have another 8-match event. The main event will feature Team Owens, KO, and Mr. Stoic against Wolf Hockfield and Blue Hair. So here we have Team Blue and Red, a first ever team up featuring a guy with red hair wearing blue trunks and a guy with blue hair wearing red trunks. So why not? They look like a team, and of course, Blue Hair has already formed bonds with other Canadians here in the Canada Wrestling promotion. So why not make even more Canadian friends and solidify his position as a good guy here in Canada? by teaming with Wolf Hockfield as well. Oh yeah. Back to Team Owens. Part of why this is the main event. KO still has a C trust. So if not a title match, maybe another main event will make him happy. So there we go. That is the rundown. If you glance to the top right here, we have a big crowd ahead of us, well over 28,000. And we're getting that with an $80 ticket price, so we're doing well at this large venue, I would say. So what's the byproduct of playing in front of so many people? Well, let's first confirm this match card. And we'll head on over to produce merchandise. So with an attendance of over 28,000, I'm going to optimistically increase our previous production. Increase, from that. Increase more, produce more is what I'm going for from the previous time we produced. Since we're playing in front of a bigger crowd than previous. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 5,000 photo and 10,000 goods. So 5,000 on the photo collection because it's more expensive, so it sells less. I believe we produced 3,000 last time. So we're going to go 5,000 this time on the photo. 5,000. And because the goods are cheaper, and so they sell more, we're going to do it. We're finally going to pull the trigger on that. I've hinted at it a few times that I've been wanting to eventually take a crack at producing a 10,000 unit line of goods. Always worried about product age. Don't want them to sit and sit, because then they'll sell less because it's becoming outdated, right? So, but with about to play in front of close to 30,000, I think now's a good time to try this. Okay, breaking new ground. 10,000 of a merchandise item. Go! Pretty cool. Alright. 5,000 photo, 10,000 goods. We still have 2,300 towels left over, which should sell pretty easily in such a large attendance. Okay. One last thing before we get to wrestling. We're going to do some view title belts. So I'll start by moving myself out of the way because I'm going to be blocking. View title belts. So we'll start with the 6 tag championship history. And there you go. Confirmation is in for the Wolf team. Wolf Hockfield's defense record is still intact. Wolf Hockfield, as captain of this championship, has a record 3 title defenses. Now that he's champ again, that record is protected for the foreseeable future. Okay, dramatic fight wrestling. Look at the heavyweight. So Ted Axel, your $50,000 DFW champion, with one more title defense on this ring, can surpass mean drunk Robert Moore for second best in the history of this title. You see, Robert Moore had 2 defenses before turning it over to Matt Gibson for that dominant reign. Now Ted Axel also has 2 defenses. If he can win, it'll be the second best title reign in this title's history. And lastly, Canada's Junior Championship. As we make our way down there. Shota at the bottom there. Also, 2 defenses. So also confirmation that the irredeemable has in fact, the irredeemable, enunciate a little bit, has in fact established the greatest junior reign at 2 title defenses. All right, that's it. Let's wrestle. The grudge match between Ken and Jin is finally happening. So that would have contributed to how much we had for attendance there. We even had some more than we projected. We actually went over 29,000. We were under 29, we got over 29, so great. Match 1. Can Deathblow Ken unseat the Trick Prince for leadership of the Japan stable here in Canada? Should Ken win, will the Trick Prince turn over leadership and accept the demotion? Be a subordinate? I don't know. Should the Trick Prince win, will that slap Ken back into line and reestablish the stability of Jin Dynasty? Or are we going to see a dismantling of what was a well-oiled machine? What is going to happen? Anyone's guess who's likely to win? Anyone's guess what the fallout will be? All that matters now is 2 men are fighting to be the leading representative of their country. Mind you, we still have the Strongheart match coming later. Although Strongheart hasn't been part of Jin Dynasty for a while. He's part of that group. Certainly from a sentimental standpoint, that hasn't changed. And there's the Tombstone Piledriver, which the Trick Prince has used to deadly effectiveness in the past. Ken has bounced back, though. He is locked in the ankle lock as we lay across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Shout out to that prestigious and generous sponsor. So, the Trick Prince shows that he's got some mat technique too. with the counter there, counter to an arm submission. We're now into that gas pedal, that heel grinding into the crotch. And you know, oh, body slam out of the ring, always exciting. But the Trick Prince is not following up, he's pacing himself. He's the leader for a reason. You might even call him a mastermind. As he wins the test of striking there, too. I had more to yammer about, but it's slipped my mind because the action started to become too exciting to continue being sidetracked. Anyway, coup de grace off the top rope again. So now I couldn't even speak properly because I was too busy saying, oh, but there's a move here that's very cool. So I'm of two minds. I get this way, as you've probably noticed if you've watched the show. I get caught between big picture and what cool stuff is happening right now. Anyway, the Trick Prince did fly. He's a very versatile wrestler. He has high flying. He has martial arts striking, as we see the high flying again, although he eats just the mat there. He's got power moves, such as the Tombstone Pile Driver. Knee strikes. Yeah, Ken does have a lot to overcome if he's going to overturn the Japanese order here in Canada. Leg hook, brainbuster, arm trap, neck crank. Some fairly sophisticated moves on display by the Trick Prince. He perhaps doesn't call himself Emperor unless he's currently holding the 6 tag titles. That should be what his policy is. Right now he's merely would-be Emperor. If he can get his team back together on the same page, and if they can get back into that winner circle for Canada's 6 tag championship. Ooh, the mist. The Trick Prince uncorks the mist, who's not above a little bit of underhanded deeds. But the wily death blow sidestepped and landed a kick in the process. Ooh, from the top rope, moonsault sailing halfway across the ring, 2.9. Wow, that is just awesome. To do a backflip that distance, that's awesome. You might see it again. Oh, we see it from another angle. What an incredible move. Incredible. And the Trick Prince symbolically indicating it is over. He has slit the throat of this match thoroughly, I would say. 8.5 minutes. So moonsaults from 2 different directions. I think the Trick Prince has made his point. I guess Ken just had to find out. And sometimes it's be careful what you wish for. Sometimes you find out the hard way that you should have just stayed put. And you never know, right? I mean, imagine if Ken had won. Suppose Ken had won in impressive fashion. That would overturn the landscape of the Japanese contingent here in Canada. As it stands, though, the Trick Prince is dominant. Ken has a decision now for himself. Does he accept subordination now? Is it now cut and dry? We go back to the way things were and we just refocus on the original plan, which was to control the 6 tag? Or does Ken... Is this a problem for Ken now? Maybe he doesn't believe in this anymore. We don't know now. I'm sure Ken will have to sleep on it. He won't have to make a decision until next month in any case. But for now, Jin Kiritani, the Trick Prince. Match 2. When last these 2 men were in the ring together, Team Canada Blue had just won the 6-tag championship, stripping Jin Dynasty of the accolade. And Kenny Omega, he wasn't satisfied with merely winning, was raining elbow strikes to the back of the head of a downed opponent, the Black Dragon God. It was after the fact. 3 count was in, decision was in, and it went on for a while. And so needless to say, Black Dragon God is super pissed, and he wants a piece of Omega. He's getting one. Whether he enjoys it or not remains to be seen. We just saw what happens when you challenge someone and it doesn't go your way. You might walk away feeling a bit foolish. Will the Black Dragon God have a similar experience? We see the camel clutch. Also, bigger picture, did Black Dragon God eats an eye rake? Yeah, well, I guess Omega's got a, he's got his own motivations to win this, and maybe he's got some dislike, and he had to watch a non-Canadian team lord it over the 6-tag championship that he's been a part of for much of its history. So maybe he's got some, let's just say, intense dislike for members of Jin Dynasty. So yeah. Belly to belly suplex. So who's got more of a chip on the shoulder? Who's more game to beat the other's ass? Hard to say. But yeah, was Black Dragon God even watching the first match? Does he care about that battle for Reverse Frankenstein? Does he care about the battle for the leadership of the Japanese contingent, the Japanese stable? Is he just too focused on an individual rivalry, individual beef? Because I guess this match has nothing to do with necessarily being upset about losing the titles itself. It was more, the excess that occurred after. It's a principle at work here. And it probably hurt. It probably hurt. Eating elbows, being pinned face down to the mat, and having the back of your head smashed in. I wouldn't sign up. In any case, super kick. Needless to say, I've talked about this, the problem between these two for nearly 5 minutes as we see the shooting star. So I would say there's plenty of content here. And who saw it coming? Going into the match, the 6-tag from last minute, did anyone think that when the smoke cleared, these two guys would branch off to fight, or any two guys of that mix would necessarily face each other? So, little out of the blue, but meat on the bone, I'd say. As I've said before, I like to say, when it comes to the content of a match, beyond simply two sportsmen striving for excellence, there's dislike. And that certainly adds to the drama. I mean, when there's a personal element, this isn't just business, this isn't just trying to win a match, it's like, I don't like you. Oh yeah? Well, I don't like you. So there's that extra layer of, who's going to get their satisfaction at the expense of the other? Who's going to... Ooh, wow. Crowd-pleasing moonsault. We saw the Trick Prince variety was more of a snap, abrupt one. That one is more about sailing to the moon and high-fiving the moon on your way down. The one by Omega. Full Nelson. Back suplex. And we've seen the 2.9. I wasn't too distracted by the big picture to fail to notice that. It registered anyway. I had to call it back. Shooting star again. 2.9 again. And this has been Omega's match, has it not? I don't know that we've really seen... Wow. Rotating sit down powerbomb from another 2.9. So we reached the 8.5 minute mark, which is roughly what the first beef match. Food match. Over it is. We would believe Mr. Omega, knee to the back of the head. And why shouldn't we believe him? He's Canadian. Here in the Canada Wrestling Promotion, he's been portrayed as a good guy. There it is again, the rotating sit down powerbomb. Looks great, sounds devastating. Black Dragon God's not going to lay down, though. And he's got more reason to fight on to the bitter end here than... Oh, something special. Slingshot. Drop kick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Ken was that pissed at the Trick Prince. It was more about I challenged the state of affairs. I think Black Dragon God's got extra reason to just... refuse to lose. As they say, it's more personal, this particular feud, compared to the first one. There we see that's where it all started. That's what caused the rivalry in the first place, and I guess that was illegal. Because what you just saw wasn't a disqualification, that was a submission. Maybe the Black Dragon God hadn't fully recovered, you know? Oh... That's interesting. The same, you know, like the same impacts that started the rivalry. Maybe there was some carryover in terms of the physical harm. Maybe the Black Dragon God hadn't recovered. Maybe his head was still throbbing. Maybe he's got some concussion issues and it didn't take too much more of that to make him just, you know, tap out and say, just, you know, I need out of here. So, fitting. I don't know if that counts as irony. I always wonder about the definition of irony. But what started the beef match in the first place, the elbows to the back of the head, which were done out of context illegally, then occurred in the ring, in the match proper, and permissible, at least in the referee's estimation. And that's it. It's over. We have a submission. And we have a victory for Omega. And I don't know. Does this close this or not? Does Black Dragon God feel he's got to do this again? I don't know. Maybe he needs to get as far away from this guy as possible if he's gonna have the back of his head smashed in more than once. I'm gonna move on. I'm a little disturbed. Match 3. Dramatic Fight Wrestling Tag Team Championship. As we will see Bret Hart once again vying for this championship. He won it previously with the other member of Team Sharpshooter, the Sharpshooter Syndicate. Bret Hart and Blue Hair excellently executed their way to these titles. Now, the Hitman teams with the Canadian Sensation to try to regain these titles. But they must overcome the essence of evil, Team Satan, the Foot Soldier, and the General. Arm drag takedown. We started off old school. Team Satan is actually 2 times tag champion of DFW. Though if you remember the history, when they... Oh, there's an eye rake. Get that cheating going within the first 5 minutes. foul. But the referee is so good as to look the other way. But yeah, two-time champions, although you know, the first one was a bit of an asterisk because they had the belts turned over to them by members of DFW. And that organization was still active. Still, though, the record book will reflect 2 title reigns. Bret Hart body slam, and then he tags out. And he eats a body. Well, he was in the process of eating a body slam in return, but there's the teamwork for you. The Canadian sensation saves his partner, and then he slings Satan's General into the challenger corner, only to eat an eye poke, which would be just as effective on that mask. You still have eye holes. He gets punched in the eye. Big back elbow does not land. That elbow, in fact, does land, actually. And press slam. Awesome power on display. Giant swing, more display of strength. As Will Stewart makes a case for Team Satan to retain these titles. Abdominal stretch, but powered out of by the foot soldier. Oh, I don't know if the Canadian sensation was trying to set Will Stewart up onto the turnbuckle there. As we see the announce table, the broadcasting in multiple languages, multiple countries. Ah, so there we get a bit of turnabout. Partner saving partner.
5 minutes gone.
From the champion perspective, too. Uh-oh. Well, that was brass knuckles, but even though his back was turned to the referee, the ref must have seen that. He caught a glimpse or two of it, coming or going, or both. Assisted. Powerbomb. Bret Hart booting his way out of that predicament, and he goes to the eye rake as well. Multiple times. Good idea on the much stronger man, just or stronger. Discombobulate him, maybe take away some of that advantage. Interfere with the vision. Double team on the vertical suplex. Attacking the lower body. Another way you might hamper someone's superior strength. Hinder the foundation from which that strength flows. And we're into the challenger corner. Ooh. Tilt-a-whirl. Backbreaker. Early for a cover, perhaps. Certainly early for an arrogant cover. No hook of the leg or anything. Oh, here we go. Torture rack. Into the backbreaker. One man gang slam. Again, going the other direction. Both members of Team Satan in there now, though. 2-on-1 advantage. Working together, the foot soldier left the Canadian sensation vulnerable for the general to take advantage of it.
1, 2.
Some sort of victory roll upon the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. There was a nut shot, but can you blame Satan's general for fighting his way out of a 2-on-1 disadvantage any which way he could? Ball grab. Bret Hart doesn't sit by and let the ball grab. Go on. Breaks that up. Eats the eye rake, though.
10 minutes.
No surge of attacking the eyes from both teams, actually. I think just about everyone's... Most wrestlers in this match have attacked the eyeballs somewhere. Maybe Canadian Sensation has not. And why might that be? Because I don't think that the Canadian Sensation has a villainous bone in his body. He's just good, wholesome Canadian boy. Anyway, vertical suplex out of the ring. Whereas Bret Hart, in his career, has been a bad guy. He's been a heel. So the eye rake is perhaps forever in his repertoire for that reason. Oh, so eye rake, ball shot, just putting the fouls in combination is Satan's general. Just cheat any which way, every which way. Double vertical suplex. As big as Will Stewart is, 2-on-1, still difficult. The giant swing again. Giant swing disrupted by Bret Hart, saving his partner again. Quite a bit of teamwork. And while his opponent is dazed, the foot soldier is just grandstanding, backflip into the pose down, and he's having his way right now. Why not enjoy yourself while you're at it? Looking pretty dominant right now is the big foot soldier. Eats a sidewalk slam, though, as the Sharpshooter Syndicate duo starts putting moves in combination together, working together. Oh, backslide, surprise, pinning combination. But Satan's general is in there to make the save, and he punishes Bret Hart, going down low. Looks like Bret Hart's not, he's looking for some retaliation. Vertical suplex the guy back in the ring doesn't work, however. It's countered into the knee breaker, shin breaker, whatever that is. Swinging neck breaker. Reverse atomic drop. The Hitman is just handling both members of the champions. But then he gets vertical suplex out of the ring, and that changes things a little bit. Looks like Will Stewart's going on in pursuit. Got a ball grab in the ring. We have a brawl outside on the floor. Bret Hart with a body slam onto the floor. Knocking the foot soldier down again. And meanwhile, the Canadian Sensation. The Sensation had his balls just well, yeah. Superfly, meanwhile, in the ring. Like it was a sensational Superfly headbutt. And now, softening up Satan's general. Powerbomb, though, as the general works his way out of the challenger corner. Ooh, wow. Splash from the top rope of Satan's general. The Hitman's going up top, too. Missing with the elbow. Tombstone power driver by the Sensation. Sensation locks in. Arm trap, crossface. Wild action as all four men are in the ring. Sidewalk slam again. So we reach 17.5 minutes. The general's wavering. Rather than take advantage, Bret Hart gets the fresh man in the ring for the double team. Good idea. Double vertical suplex. And we're going to fly again. Sensational Superfly. The arrogant cover deep in the side of the ring of the challengers. 2.9, that close to new champions. Now we'll trade strikes over the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Hulking up. Super kick. Tags in the foot soldier, and we'll have a 2-on-1 situation. Assisted powerbomb. Boom. Ooh, but a sensational retaliation there on the brain buster. Will Stewart is dazed, eats the stepping palm strike into the sharpshooter in the center of the ring. They are the Sharpshooter Syndicate after all.
20
But it was
minutes
broken up and the match continues. Headbutt with a possibly loaded mask. Superfly headbutt. Sensational. Superfly. Bret Hart, can he... Oh, he's not in there soon enough to break it up. Prevent the save. We have the figure four leg lock cinched in. No, Bret Hart was not able to get in there to break it up. He had to rely on the Sensation to survive. Looked like the Sensation might have been going for the sharpshooter again. Will Stewart was wise to it, escapes that predicament. Body slam. Now we'll have all four competitors in the ring again. The Foot Soldiers posing down. Maybe should concentrate on getting the finish here. We're getting pretty late. 22 minutes into this match. Should focus on the finish at this point, not on posing down for the crowd's approval. You might not get it anyway, since it is the Canadian crowd. And oh, just too much nut crush. Oh, yeah, in the champion side of the ring. The Canadian Sensation had a long way to go there to try to save the Hitman from that groin grappling predicament. And we have the submission, understandably so. And we have this, yeah. We still have Satanic tag team champions. Match 4. Matt Gibson challenges the $50,000 DFW heavyweight champion, Wiseman Ted Axel. And one way or another, if you remember that song, one way or another, the landscape of this title picture changes with the result of this match. See there Ace's old nickname, Final Wrestler. This is the final time that he's going to get an opportunity to win this title. Either he wins this championship and makes good on third time's the charm standard, or should he fail, he's out of the picture on 3 strikes you're out grounds. You'll have to give way for some new challenger to see if they can overcome the Wiseman. So, champ looking good so far with the body slam and then the arm twist. Shoulder smashes, dragon screw leg whip. Champ looking good so far. Ted Axel perhaps carrying some $50,000 momentum from the previous match, when not only did he win a lengthy, drawn-out match that was rated 100%, he did get the submission, which is telling. If it wasn't for the 100%, and you know, Matt Gibson absolutely was in that match. He was looking good in the early going, got a 2.9 before it was over. And that was the move right there. The cross-face chicken wing is what led to the finish in the I Quit. So why not go back to that for psychological reasons? Maybe you can demoralize the challenger a bit, remind him of what happened last time. Now we're wrestling in the center of the ring. Good look at the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Drop kick while in motion. Athleticism on display. Rodeo arm breaker. Second time we've seen that in the first 3 minutes. So plenty of attacking the limbs so far. Arms and legs by the $50,000 champion. Cartwheel into the reverse avalanche. Athletic, spectacular, all around cool. And then Irish whip from the fittingly green-clad ace, right? The Irish whip does not succeed as a $50,000 holding onto the ropes to foil whatever that plan was. But, you know, the challenger's in there. He's getting some moves in. Hasn't been a one-sided affair, although the champion does look pretty good. Possession of this title not threatened at this time. We did get cast out of the ring there.
5 minutes gone.
But the ace, as he eats a body slam across the middle into that crossface chicken wing again, not surprising the ace would not follow up with the out of the ring fighting. He's considered a hero as opposed to a villain, so you'd think he'd want to more or less keep it clean, although he did just drape the throat of the wise man across the ropes. But Ted Axel responds with a $50,000 vertical suplex and then DDT. Okay, so revenge well in effect there for anyway. The blue-clad champion takes the action into the blue corner again with that reverse avalanche. That did we just see the Teddy Twister? Too busy just replaying previous moves in my head. Stay in the present. Okay. There's that knee drape, backbreaker, submission attempt. Running kick. Kick down low, elbow. The ace, putting moves in combination right now. But now we're going to see a Phoenix Plex. 2.9. $50,000 champion. That close to getting this done in under 8 minutes, which would be, you know, if Matt Gibson's already second guessing himself, how about that for starting to think he's not cut out for this title if he were to lose in under 8 minutes. I mean, that would punctuate this series of matches for the champion. The wise man were to win convincingly here, leave no doubt at all. Because, you know, in the first 2 matches where the ace has pursued the champion, Matt Gibson's absolutely been in it. Been in it, like, looking good too. Nair coming razor close in both challenges. But he's going to have to do more than that in this match as he falls prey, at least, yes, to the surprise roll up. That was the way Ted Axel repelled the first challenge from the ace. And in that first challenge, the ace looked good, had a 2.9 leading up to kind of having the match taken from him in a surprise manner. But at least in that first match, it looked like it might have been Gibson's. This match never looked like the challenger was a serious threat. And under 10 minutes. So it doesn't take the champ that long to punctuate his hold on this championship. Match evaluation reflected it. One-sided. It didn't take long. It's over, at least for the time being. It's absolutely back to the drawing board for the ace. You know, he needed something special here, and if anything, he was just basically smothered, slapped down. the ace needs to go in another direction without a doubt. Because this title, even though it was gained in a questionable manner, the DFW Heavyweight Championship absolutely belongs to the Wise Man. It is a $50,000 title reign that goes on. And we can assure Ted Axel he will have a new opponent for his next title defense. Who might that be? I've got a couple ideas. Maybe you, dear viewer, might have an idea or two yourself. And we'll see. Leave a suggestion if you want. I'll take it under advisement who the fans would like to see challenge for this title. I have an idea where Matt Gibson might go, actually. Actually, the two are in conflict, actually. I'm of two minds where who I might have Ted Axel face next is kind of might be linked to Matt Gibson. So I don't know how this is going to shake out. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't have to decide now. All that matters right now is that we still have a $50,000 champion. So, we have reached the title matches for the Canadian Championships. Beginning with the Junior. Christian challenges for the third time Shota's supremacy in the junior division. So, will third time be the charm for Christian? I don't know if we can hold him to the same 3 strikes you're out standard because there are only 3 juniors. I have an idea for one more that might join someday, but we'll see how that goes. So it's really hard to eliminate someone from contention when the field for this title is small. And the men are a little small, so it makes them juniors. They're a little lighter, but they're not small in fighting spirit. As you see the champion now in the ring, lining up that haymaker, which Christian narrowly blocked. The champ is not small on viciousness. Unloading, combination, striking. Knocks the challenger around. Christian desperately flailing back to keep the champion off him. Oh, he eats a jab. And fortunately, maybe you're sensing that a jab is a prelude to something else. Christian backed it off there. They're eating it and narrowly avoided getting... Whoa, again. It took me that long to describe the fire breath the first time that a second one came. Christian wisely keeping his distance here, at least... And then he stepped around it. I guess he closed the distance there. And so the flame went past him because he was already too close to get struck by it, I guess. But yeah, the champion quite literally breathing fire out there. Sometimes you might think of that as a figurative term for being like really angry or violent. Shota is actually doing that. Fan of flames to try to roast your opponent. And missing all 3 times there. But you'd think that it wouldn't take very many of those to land. How many times can you get engulfed in fire before that seriously harms you? So Christian definitely perhaps should be counting himself lucky that he hasn't been lit. He is wearing quite a bit of flammable clothing after all. Holding and hitting. So Christian's avoided the hellfire, if you will, since he is the irredeemable Shota. It's not just any old fire breath. It's like a sinful source, you might say. So Christian's avoided the fire, but can he mount sufficient offense? It's not, clearly it's not going to be enough to simply hang in there.
5 minutes.
There you go. Dragon Screw Leg Whip, get some offense going. We've hit 5 minutes already. Speaking of hitting, brutalization, and now we're at the sickle. I think I decided I like calling it sickle because that's a sick man we're dealing with. Shota doesn't mind pulling out any and all vicious, despicable tactics. DDT, which is what Christian needs more of that. But as we saw in a previous challenge, it seems like there's no quantity of DDTs that are necessarily going to hold Shota down. He is tough, among other things. Biting. So the second attempt to draw blood here by the champion. And this time it succeeds. You can't see it too well on the Lit Cola logo since it's red. And he goes back to it, back to biting. And are we going to have a bloodbath on our hands? We're 7-ish minutes in. So, yeah. If this match drags on a while still, we could... Yeah, and red is just collecting. Collecting in the bottom corner there. As we see the Jumbo Mart logo, see that other side of the turnbuckle, like on the post, on the exterior, the post on the exterior? Jumbo Mart. And with us for a long time, this is our second year of that supermarket sponsorship. Sold a lot of goods through their discount. Production discount. Dragon Screw Leg Whips. So Christian's got quite a bit to overcome now. It's not just the cheating. It's not just the brutality, viciousness, but now there's blood. And the biting again. Shota's calling for the finish. And it has seemed like the champion's match so far, so seems fitting to say that this is almost over because it looks like it could be. Just nut stomping, just working that, and then back to the sickle. Blood, brutality, battering. Boy, the champion has looked unstoppable of late. Just mauling challengers. We have that torture grind. Not just applying pain, but look at all the blood that's seeped out onto the mat. Oh boy. Windmill, haymakers. Shota's getting tired from just beating the holy crap out of Christian. And that time, there was no escaping the fire. Christian was too dazed. He could just stand there reeling while the jet of flame just... I almost cursed. He almost used a different F word. But, man. Has the champion been doing his job so far? In all phases, all aspects. Doesn't he? He just no-sells the back suplex. Just says, no, you're not getting any kind of momentum. I'm the champion. I'm just going to continue to just dominate. Oh. As if he needs to do that. Just resort to that. I think that was the principle of the matter. Just to be a bigger jerk than he already was. Just add, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's adding insult to injury. I reversed it before. Okay. Is there any hope then when you land the Impaler DDT? Is Christian in this? As he's just getting his head just smooshed against the mat. Blood left behind where that evil was perpetrated. Backside Shota's laying in Christian's blood there, but we are tied up in the... Ooh. Impaler DDT again. Cover, but maybe ankle on the ropes there. Ref says no, we're too close. to the corner, get it out of there. Just battering with those strikes, and we're back to the sickle again. Whew. How much torture can one man endure as we see the torture grind again? I mean, give Christian credit. He's hanging in there. He's just suffered so badly here. Eats a haymaker. Desperate kick just to keep the champ off him. Lands a strike of his own. Fire breath, but Christian's just... Last thing he wants to eat another one of those. Oh, vertical suplex out of the ring. And we will be fighting out on the floor. Ugh. Didn't turn out to be such a good idea, and fans may be getting a pretty good look at that blood. They could reach over and interact with it, I suppose. Not recommended, but you could. I'm just... That's how close to the action they are. Holding and hitting, but yeah, all credit to the challenger. Christian is just not giving up. It's like he's willing to fight to the death out there, and hopefully that doesn't cost him. In terms of his health, another DDT. But you know, as long as he hangs in there, there's hope. There's hope of brain damage as he gets smashed in the ground and pound. Look at the thick, just blood patch on the mat where... Ugh. Feel like you almost might would think about the referee should stop this. This is just a unhealthy amount of blood loss. We saw the unprettier just now, Christian's famous finisher. Not enough, at least not yet. Don't know if there's been enough offense. More blood, jeez. And then Shota gets DDT'd into his own blood. Maybe obscure his vision a bit if he gets Christian's blood in his eyes. More holding and hitting. There is no quit in the challenger, though. This is over 19 minutes of the challenger largely getting beaten and bloodied and battered. He's hanging in there. He's not quitting. The backslide. Oh, man. Is there any chance that Christian could steal this? I mean, it might be that kind of surprise move. Oh, then he eats a haymaker. It might be that kind of surprise pin if he could sneak it in there. Maybe he could steal this as we hit 20 minutes. But he's got to find a way to execute one of those surprise pin attempts while we're away from the ropes, away from the turnbuckle, because he's had a couple of attempts that have not had a chance to have it stay in court. You got to get toward the middle. Anyway, there's that diving clothesline. We've seen that more than once. Running drop kick. Oof. Back to the biting and blood. Inevitable. Again with that flying clothesline, you know? When this match goes on, maybe Christian finds a way because he just... Shota has been all over him this whole match. He hasn't been able to find an irredeemable finish. It's been a couple opportunities. Christian just won't give up. Maybe he should, as the blood loss just carries on. I hate to say that. He's a good, wholesome Canadian boy, and I'm, you know, on nationality grounds, I'm rooting for him. But what point do you say on humanity grounds, enough is enough? We have an ankle lock submission, and yeah, I think it had to be over. Like it's as a mercy at some point. Let's get Christian some medical attention to do with this blood loss. Well, I'd say the fans got their times and money's worth for that segment of the event. Well over 20 minutes. Long for a singles match. We saw a lot. We saw like the champion's full powers on display at length. Christian got some interesting moves in there, here and there. But it just seemed like it was largely champion. And Christian is just still struggling, floundering to find a way to redeem the irredeemable. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe there is no redeeming. There's no redeeming Shota. At least so far. And he retains the Canadian Junior Championship. Match 6 for Canada's Tag Team Championship. So we just saw the Pearl Harbor partner of Baron Charles, Ted Axel. Well, earlier we saw the Pearl Harbor teammate have success in a championship match. Can Baron Charles, as he poses down and Missing Link looks around confused, can the Baron Charles make it a daily double of sorts for Pearl Harbor? It would be a massive thing as we look at the massive wrestling bear, Terrible Ted, making his way down to the ring. Jason the Terrible Ted, Canada's Tag Team Champions. So we've seen these two lock up before. Who's more out of touch with reality? An animal? Or someone who, for all we know, has a mentality of an animal? Do either of these guys know exactly what they're doing right now? All they know is that they're in a fight. And why not have two non-standard competitors competing for a major title? Sure. As long as it's top competition, I guess. As long as it's Oh, eye rake, okay. I was waiting for something to grab my attention amidst that exchange. So, attacking the vision is the missing link, and he gets the upper hand. Trying to choke out the wrestler there. That's a big, thick neck to try to wrap your hand around. I guess you can apply pressure in any case. Football charge, Chicago Bears. Football charge. Doesn't land, however. And, you know, quite a bit of back and forth here. Yes, he's a bear, but he hasn't manhandled the missing link. Fairly even exchange, it seemed like. Bear hug. Broken up by the Baron. All things B, as the blue-clothed Baron is on the bottom, but bars the arm. So be quiet with all the B words, I guess. Take it a little more seriously. Oh. Well, the ref doesn't have to take that seriously because we're in the ropes anyway. So the ref wouldn't have considered any kind of verdict because they were tangled in the ropes. Exchange of strikes usually favors Jason the Terrible, especially when someone's striking him in the armor. That face mask.
5 minutes gone.
He does have a facial shield to protect him. Arm twist, shoulder breakers by the Baron. Back to the bees, but that's not my fault. That's what's going on. eye rake kick to the midsection. Good combination there. Cheating away with the eye rake, but the spear, the link spear. Now the missing link goes to the eye rake. I don't know, probably not very effective against someone wearing a hockey mask. But the press slam. Mask is going to save you there. Going for an outright choke again. So the missing link certainly seeing the wisdom of bending the rules where possible. Jawbreaker followed up by the falling headbutt by Jason. Yeah, missing link has the right idea, I think. Absolutely. Go to the bag of tricks, find out some path. Scoring this upset. Bear charge flattens the missing link, but he escapes. Too early probably for anyone to be finished, but then again, when it comes to the bear, you never know. Awesome bear strength. Doesn't require someone to be worn down to be overwhelming. Was that the bear mare? The snap mare by the bear mare? Standing guillotine choke. The missing link looked like he was headless there for a second. The green face paint all obscured under the armpit. The bear pit. Terrible Ted booting his way out of the challenger corner. Bear mare. Gets tagged out. So counter on what might have been a pile driver there. Back body drop out of the ring, but Team Terrible is too busy goofing around to really follow up. They're probably pretty confident.
10 minutes gone.
They win a lot. Once again, Jason says, I'm not to be manhandled. Back drops the bear out of the ring. The bear looked like he might have been following up. He did not get any outside the ring brawl as the Bear and Charles gets back in the ring. Only to eat a jawbreaker. And the hockey mask down low. Oh boy. Sidewalk slamming. Yeah, there's that headbutt again, just using the mask as a weapon. Those are two rather large advantages that Team Terrible has, doesn't it? One is a actual living bear, and the other wears armor into the ring that can be used both for protection and offense. But that's the landscape. Well, the referee calls for the break there. Not convinced that Jason was cheating with the steel chair despite Baron Charles making the claim. Making it appear to be the case. Assisted power bomb. The bear bowls over smaller challenger. Takedown. Might have been trying to cinch in one of those ground submissions, which tend to be fatal. Figuratively, of course. The missing link wisely got... He who was wise to the attempt at least. But as the match wears on and competitors wear down, they're liable to be more susceptible to choke attempts, such as that one. So, the bear could not be resisted forever. Overwhelming power and strength that told the tale again. .74% match evaluation. Always like 74%. That's the year I was born. The guillotine choke. A fairly common finish in Team Terrible matches. And that Canadian team retains Canada's Tag Team Championship. As we approach match 7, it has not been a good event for Japanese wrestlers. We saw in the opening couple matches the members of MMA Japan, both Ken and Black Dragon God, lost badly, and their futures might be a little uncertain now. We'll have to see. The Trick Prince won, but we established that he's merely part of the Japan region and that he's actually Chinese, but in the greater Japan region. Baron Charles is Japanese, and understandably, he was disappointed in his bid to overthrow Team Terrible. No shame there, but still another loss for Team Japan. So, as we're about to determine who is Canada's heavyweight champion, boy does Strongheart have an opportunity to turn around Japanese fortunes. To say he could make history is an understatement. For this man, who I've always enjoyed his work, he's been a 6-tag champion in a subordinate role. And that's it. That's all he's got to show for titles. He could all of a sudden be the king of Canada right now for Canada's heavyweight championship. And it would be monumental in more than one way. I mean, Strongheart would be rocketed to superstardom status. Big Titan, if he's a man of his word, would have to leave Canada's wrestling promotion. Lands a counter kick there to open a big boot. Test of strength. The fiery spirit of Strongheart allows him to hold his own against the slightly bigger Big Titan. It's not a size mismatch. Big Titan's got height. And yeah, he is bigger. Noticeably, but it's not like a heavy fight in a junior necessarily. Anyway, reversal on the Irish whip into the championship corner. So huge implications if Strongheart can win this. As he lands the snap Strongheart suplex, overpowering this time as the champion on the test of strength. Leg drop to the back of the head, which that's always been in his repertoire, but I don't know if we've seen it as much lately out of Big Titan. It's worth doing. Crush the guy while he's down. Body slam by Strongheart, showing that although he's the slightly smaller man, he still has strength of his own. Strong enough. Is he strong enough to hoist the biggest prize in Canadian wrestling? Canada's heavyweight championship. Misses with the dropkick there. Chop, choppity, chop. Slaps in the Strongheart sleeper. Eats a hard cross there, and then the left. Big Titan landing, striking, although he misses with the dropkick. Big body slam, starting to ragdoll his opponent, the challenger. Dropkick to the back of the head. Trade of strikes. Strongheart's being knocked back, but look at the resilience. Chops his way out of trouble. Goes for an arrogant cover. Maybe not a wise plan. Unless that's probably going to piss off the champion. What is the effect going to be as the champ lands in one of those drop kicks to the back of the head? Is the champ going to be just plain pissed and attack with all the more ferocity as he casts his man out of the ring? Or is his judgment going to be impaired by seeing red? Snap, Strongheart suplex. So this time wisely hooking both the leg and the neck. You don't often see hook on the neck and a pin.
5 minutes gone.
But you could. There's a very famous incident of that, actually, as we see the Titan hug just now. Perhaps the most famous hooking of the neck during a pinfall. I'll give you a second. See if you can come up with it. Do you know your wrestling lore? This goes back a few decades. Speaking of going back there, we saw an old school hip toss from Big Titan, that classic hip toss. Don't know how much you see that nowadays. It's traditional. It's not really a modern move. But yeah, here it is. Hulk Hogan, when he defeated the Iron Sheik to usher in a new era of wrestling. After crushing the Sheik with a leg drop, he hooked not just the leg, but around the back of the neck, and he sort of cradle pinned the guy, and Sheik was flailing around, but Hulkamania was about to run wild, and there's no stopping it. Anyway, double arm suplex. Almost onto the Lit Cola. The Lit Cola's the sponsor logo. Big Titan's long legs hanging out the apron there, out of the ring. Escapes that go-behind predicament that Strongheart was trying to cinch in. 7.5 minutes. I think both members have done some good work. 2 count. Hard to really say who has the advantage here. This Big Titan going to start laying in some bully tactics here into the turnbuckle. Clothesline. Folds him in half with a suplex into the turnbuckle. Champion looking good ever since I said it was even. But there's a rolling armbar submission attempt. Big Titan looking to catch his breath. But he does land a Titan death drop. You figure the price Big Titan might pay for being a little larger. Cardio maybe not as good. Maybe Strongheart's got a little bit better overall fitness. Which will win out? The agility and technique of Strongheart, or the power and fierceness of Big Titan as he looks to the Canadian crowd, trying to draw some home crowd support, is the Canadian champion from Canada. Another arrogant pin attempt as we hit the 10-minute mark, so only a 1 count for Strongheart. We've seen 2 for Big Titan. Another double arm suplex flinging him off of the Lit Cola logo. Body slam. Big Titan's got to catch his breath though. It's must be tiring hauling that muscle around. Maybe not the best timing to try that move. He's heaving for breath as it gets countered on him. Kick to the top of the head as Big Titan tries to buy himself some time. It looks like he might need a second wind here. Edge Big Titan perhaps, but there's a Death Valley driver into the challenger corner. Another one of those arrogant pins. It seems like Strongheart's not just trying to win this. He's trying to win emphatically, dramatically. I mean, if this is going to be his coming out party as one of the top guys in this promotion, why not try to do it in style? He eats the Titan Spear. However, 2.9. Titan Spear, that's a long spear lancing into the gut there. But there was the pop-up diamond cutter. Strongheart's absolutely in this match. He tries to take advantage of a need to recover Big Titan. And now we're going to see the jackhammer made famous by Goldberg. 13-minute mark. We have a 2.9 for the challenger as well. But there's the exploder suplex. The Titan trademark. 2.9. Strongheart didn't come all this way to lose, apparently. Come this far to winning the title. Kicks out of the exploder. Is that another Death Valley driver? Rolling armbar. We're in the ropes. Perhaps a wasted opportunity there. Submission attempt, but it was negated by not being close enough to the middle of the ring. We're going to see that Titan death drop again. Serious power by a powerful man. Clubbing blow. Double axe handle. Back of the head. 15 minutes. There's the super bomb, that choke slam into the sit down power bomb. We have 3. Squarely in the middle of the ring, 3 count. Admirably though, Strongheart took this over 15 minutes. 2.9 count again. Yeah. Big Titan is still Canada's heavyweight champion. But it wasn't exactly one-sided, was it? I mean, we've had third time's the charm. / 3 strikes you're out as a rule. Does it need to apply here too? I mean, we'll see what things look like next month. Or decide whether we want to do this again. I mean, about as close as you need it to be. I mean, how much closer can you get? Singles matches don't always go over 15. Both guys with 2.9s. Leave in the comments if you like. Do we need to do this for a third time? Does Strongheart have to get his chance of that same tradition, that third time's a charm, 3 strikes you're out tradition? For now, still, and now with 2 title defenses on this reign, equaling his and Baron Charles's co-record. 2 defenses. 1 away from a new record. Big Titan, still Canada's heavyweight champion. Match 8. The main event. Average match evaluation, top right there, over 80% so far. Optimistic we can maintain an A standard to earn a great success. So what is gained with a win? Team Blue and Red. Not sure. Each are part of a different 3-man team, more likely to be opponents in the future than allies. Likely not a tag title shot for these 2, but who knows? Perhaps next event. Again, the 6 tag maybe doesn't get defended, so that might free up that team as an option again. Team Owens. Firmly established duo, being cousins, looking to show they should get back to being title challengers and not mere contenders. Mr. Stoic. KO. The 2 big men will start. Like this could be a heavyweight singles contender match. So Wolf Hockfield is backed into his blue corner there. Not too much comes of it. After he gets Irish whipped all the way across the wing to the red corner. 2 big men sizing each other up methodically. Back. Body drop. Into the arm bar. So a bit of a methodical feeling each other out process here. Neither man, well, maybe respecting each other's size and strength. There's a high kick. A high kick from Wolf Hockfield, and rather than risk having to deal with the brunt of KO's rage over having that happen to him, he gets tagged out. Bring in blue hair, double team on the vertical suplex, but then turnabout. Team Owens double team on the assisted power bomb. Boot to the back. Yeah. Goes up top for the surprise roll-up. Way too early and in the ropes. What were you thinking? Trying to beat the traffic, get out of here early. Dragon screw leg whip. Yeah, we already have fans having incentive to beat the traffic with this being a non-title match. Don't act like you're trying to get out of here too quick. We still have an average match evaluation to look out for. Give the fans something to be grateful they stuck around for. Double team on the vertical suplex. So some good teamwork by Team Owens, keeping the action in the red corner. Sometimes known as the championship corner, but currently no titles on the line. Although we do have a champion in this match, as Wolf Hockfield tries for that high kick again, trying to save his partner. Wolf Hockfield is the one title possessor currently among this group of 4. He's the leader of the 6 tag champions, Team Canada Blue. Now a 3-time holder of that title,
5 minutes gone.
Captain Running Knee. There's that agility on display by the big man. Then a knee in return, knee to the bread basket, as they used to call it. And perhaps taking advantage of Wolf Hockfield being a bit softened up here is Mr. Stoic, but the Wolf responds, elbow drop across the face. Neck breaker. So the action's picked up considerably since we've been getting some tags going. After a bit of a cautious beginning. Yeah. Now I kind of feel like I want to see Wolf Hockfield versus Kevin Owens in singles action. Huh. Shoot, takedown there by Blue Hair. So maybe some of that Japanese martial arts background coming into play. Oh, wow. Rolling heel kick. Frog splash from the top rope from the big man.
1, 2.
So both big men have exhibited agility in this relatively early going. Dragon screw leg whip. The partner follows up with the elbow drop. Good teamwork by blue and red right now. Chop across the face. Big overhand left in return by KO. Ultimately, Owens gets the worst of that. Big body slam. Neck breaker. Mr. Stoic can only stand by and await his turn to get involved in the action. Stoic sleeper. Working that forearm shiver. But then eats vertical suplex in reply. As the Wolf gets a hold of the smaller man and manhandles him.
10 minutes gone.
So it looked like the Wolf might have been in a bit of trouble there, but since he tagged out, Blue Hair gained control and then Wolf lands the stomp. So now good teamwork in the blue corner. Team blue and red. Team up on the vertical suplex. Blue Hair goes spilling out of the ring, lands on his head on the floor. Now Wolf is alone trying to face Team Owens in the ring. Gets stuffed into his corner before he's got to vacate. Blue Hair trying some athleticism there, flying kick. Gets the bigger man off him long enough to tag his own big man in. Oh, tries to catch him by surprise with a small package. Pretty pointless considering Blue Hair's not The legal man. Save that for when there would be a pin to be counted on that. Anyway, did you see a reverse on the atomic drop there? Reverse atomic drop? I was too busy examining the big picture. I do that. Discus. Strike. Followed by the armbar, we will get a submission check. Even though Wolf Hockfield's, the back of his head was laying across the bottom rope there, the ref probably missed that. That should have been a break. Sidewalk, backbreaker. Kevin Owens will fly again, rolling backsplash from the top rope. Yeah, I want to see these two in singles action. This is cool. Maybe that's something to possibly do. Maybe this 2-on-2 gets broken up into 2 singles matches. Yeah, think about it. But the priority probably still needs to be if Team Canada Blue has a sensible opponent for the 6 tag. That's probably what we should do. But future considerations, let's say.
4, 5, 6,
Big body slam out there on the floor into the half crab.
9,
The big man fighting in the alley right now.
11, 12,
Knee to the, I want to say it again, the bread basket. It's fun. It's a fun term. Neck breaker out on the back, out on the floor. And the Wolf was really taking his time getting back in that ring. Got back in at the 15 count. And Mr. Stoic's going to fly. Or not. Second guessed it. Maybe he noticed that Wolf was starting to stir and he figured, why risk myself if the guy's going to be getting up? Can't really exploit someone who's not vulnerable. Since we are in Canada. Arm drag, takedown. Spinning sidekick. Blue hair lands the brain buster. A blue brain buster. Falling fist. All the alliteration is out on display right now. And now blue hair's deep in the red corner. Probably not a good place to be. Pin attempt. 1 and change. I guess we're a ways away from the finish. Oh! That was quite a cool sequence. It happened too rapidly to call, but that was cool. I would recommend someone watching that back. Where's instant replay?
1, 2.
A fun sequence where 3 men interacted in a 2-on-1 odd man situation anyway. It's part of what tag team action is. The essence of tag team action, I've often thought, is utilizing opportunities to legally take a numbers advantage in the 2-on-1. Wow, Kevin Owens is just getting worked over right now. Speaking of 2-on-1, there you go. You make the tag. You utilize your 5 seconds or so, both men allowing to be in the ring, and exploit the numbers game. Well, do we have a superplex or something here? Oh, Frankensteiner from the turnbuckle. And again, off the Irish whip into a pinning combination. Too bad it's not in the red corner. There might have been a chance there. The Wolf tried some top rope elbow athleticism, but maybe a little bit too much confusion in there to land that properly. Rips the man with a clothesline into the sharpshooter. A member of Sharpshooter Syndicate applying the trademark finishing hold of that group. But blue hair was not legal. So the most we could do there is have about 5 seconds of Mr. Stoic having to cope with that discomfort. But without risking losing the match. 20 minutes gone. We might have to have a name for that male announcer. We call it the female announcer, Maple. But now that we're in these bigger venues and we have a different guy, the bigger venue, perhaps he needs a name. Think Canadian in any case. Would be a cool sounding Canadian name for a guy. Because it looks like this is not our first time at this 30,000 rural large venue. flying, running dropkick there. Yeah, running dropkick, not flying. Say flying for when it's top rope. Running dropkick, however, still very athletic for Wolf Hockfield. Being big, folds him in half with a back suplex, falling fist, following up. Good teamwork again, blue and red. And now we're going to stand toe-to-toe across the lit cola, trading shots. Blue hair, Spirit of the Samurai there, charging up. Wins the exchange of strikes, but then eats an eye rake. Like KO was looking for an opportunity to cool the jets of the more energetic, perhaps blue hair. Vertical suplex 2.9. Meanwhile, two pairs of action going on, more than one set of action at once. Also, one of the essences of tag team. When you get multiple men in the ring, it turns into a brawl that's hard to cover. Flying drop kick by such a big man. Impressive athleticism. Man, I feel like when the opportunity arises, I kind of want to... Fireman's carry slam by Mr. Stoic. I kind of want to get Wolf Hockfield and Kevin Owens in a singles match with heavyweight championship implications in terms of the #1 contendership. That sounds like fun. Meanwhile, give credit to all 4 men in this match, making this a very spirited main event. A lot of energy, a lot of good work being done by all parties. It's anyone's guess. Giant swing. This could be a submission hold. But we're too much in the ropes of the referee. Wolf indicates that his opponent is going down. Running leg drop. Across the back of the head, but Mr. Stoic pops up. Brings the action back to the Owens corner. Not to be confused with Owens Corning. I think that's a brand for like ceramics or something like that. Anyway, wow. Torture rack, Death Valley driver combo. What's going on here? That's confusing. Wolf Hockfield getting some wind sprints in there in the middle of the match. Oh, he almost ate a DDT, but there was blue hair to prevent the DDT on his partner, saving the Wolf. Release on the German suplex. Falling fist again. So we get another good look at our main sponsor logo as men fight over it. Not to possess it, fight over it as in standing above it, of course. So, big man flies again. Splash from the top rope. But the Wolf is up, only to eat a counter backdrop out of the ring. We get a look at the announce tables out there. As we are in the bigger time. Not the big time, the bigger. We've gotten bigger time. There's still other heights to reach in terms of venue and attendance. Someday. Wow. Knee to the face. Back suplex, 29 minutes. I think the crowd's getting their money's worth. You can hear them, right? You can hear the cheers. There's a buzz in the crowd. They're appreciating this. You've gotten about everything and anything you could have asked for in this tag match. It seems very even. Fire jumping powerbomb could very well have been a finish, but too much in the middle of the ring. KO gets the save, the pin disruption. Back suplex. Jeez, it's got to be a finisher somewhere. We've been half an hour. And of course, a fake half an hour. The clock moves faster than real time. I get it. But this is it's a fictional setting, so why don't we have a fictional method of keeping time? Besides, it's more exciting to be able to say, this match has been half an hour. Suspend your disbelief, people. That's what I'm saying. Get into it. Sidewalk backbreaker. The match goes on. Oof, wow. Irish Whip catches his man, halting his momentum into the exploder. Or did he use the momentum? Add impact to the exploder. Anyway, worth seeing again. So that was some sort of Fuller half Nelson suplex into a pinning combination, but in the ropes. Frankly, I'm starting to want to finish now. I'm starting to feel a strain in my vocal components. Well, reversal on the vertical suplex out of the ring. Mr. Stoic was flopping out there. Top rope. What's going on? What's Blue Hair doing? Wow! Blue Hair sprang from the turnbuckle onto the floor to try to dropkick a guy. Misses. Could have badly hurt himself. Meanwhile, his intended opponent was smashed into the ring post back there. We got all four men fighting. Team up on the vertical suplex. 16, 17. Count out. Oh, wow. Blue Hair is counted out. You have to figure he hurt himself when he flew off the top rope, like the turnbuckle, like that, to land on the floor. It was a long way down, and to land on a surface you're not meant to crash onto. And then he got his face rammed into the ring post. And the chaos. So we didn't get a clear finish, but what a fun ending that was. All four men fighting outside. Chaos. How do you follow it all? High risk. Violent activity. Yeah, geez. 100%? Yes. 100% match evaluation. Absolutely. Even with a count out. Pretty cool. Good show, boys. And why not? The win might as well have gone to Team Owens, because they're more likely to want to go straight into a tag team title match after this. Whereas Wolf and Blue Hair might have other things. They might be, when next they see each other, it might be across the ring as opponents for the 6-tag title. We shall have to see. Much to decide and sort out for next event. Strong finish to the main event. I think, what were we, 83 average evaluation? So that doubled our 80% overage. Went from 3 to 6. Pretty cool. Strong finish. Almost a red sweep as we re-examine the card. 7 out of the 8 matches went to the red corner. All titles that were on the line successfully defended. Is that 4, 5, 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. It looked like we had 5 title matches. Cool. Great success, as we expected. Big crowd, good matches overall. Good revenue, I can assure you. Income, $3.6 million. Is that a record? Stands the reason it should be. Our sponsorship is at an all-time high. Biggest attendance and ticket price combination, I believe. And then we have the luxury of we're selling 3 lines of merchandise. You're going to get augmented sales because of the bigger crowd. So expense is significant too. But we profit over $3 million. Have we profited $3 million ever? Is that a record? $3 million in profit. Monthly balance there at the end. So, well, we are in full swing in terms of cranking out the revenue. So tune in next time to see if we can break the 3 million mark again.